going to talk about what you need to know to start looking for jobs. As a general rule of thumb, most job applications require three things from you: a resume. Certain types of jobs want a CV instead, but usually it's resume here in the United States. They'll also ask for a cover letter and occasionally, but rarely, a letter of introduction from someone else. And they'll ask for references, usually three people who you've worked for in the past or old teachers, if you don't have job experience yet, who can tell them about your work ethic and skills. There's several different routes you could take to look for a job. There's professional job matching services, businesses that help match companies with potential employees. Uh, Temp agencies are actually one of the ways to go about that because often, if you start as a temp worker, if they like you, they'll keep you long term. It's a way to get your foot in the door. Same thing with internships. An internship is a great way to let both you and the company test each other out before making long term commitments. It also builds up your resume for future positions as well. A lot of my friends from college, probably I want to say a third of my close friends, they got their first good post college job because companies they interned with during college hired them on full time. Networking is so key to finding a job. So, one study said that about 85% of positions are filled through networking, one way or another. So, if I would always make sure you put the word out when you're looking for a job, tell your family and your friends so that if they have friends who are working in that field, they might be able to pass the word on about job openings. That's actually how I got my job here at Whittier Christian. Is from networking. I heard from a friend of my mother that Whittier Christian was hiring and applied because of that. And the friend of my mother was able to put in a good word for me. Alumni organizations are also a good way to network. Often, employers, owners of small businesses, like to hire people who went to the same college. Online tools. It's very useful to find out if your job has a specific website that most employers use. For example, anyone who wants to get a job in education probably has to make an account on edjoin.org because that's where most of the job openings are posted. Often, even if someone puts in a good word for you in person at the employer through networking, you often still have to go through the steps of doing the application on the website like EdJoin. Also, there's websites like LinkedIn, which are specifically geared towards networking. It's useful not just for getting a job, but after you have a job, if you work in a field like business, where having a strong network of other people in the same field is important, LinkedIn is a really helpful tool. That's it for today's notes. Don't forget to turn in a picture of your notes on Schoology when you're done.